We're joined from Cairo by former Assistant Foreign Minister, Ambassador Dr. Mohamed Higazy. Good evening to you, sir, and welcome to Qnews. And let me here start by asking, what significance does Egypt attribute to tomorrow's meetings in Cairo within the broader context of its strategic initiative to galvanize regional and international backing for a durable peace?
Well, this is a very harsh thought and very complicated one indeed that needs a lot of trust and a lot of diplomacy. 2 years of shedding blood over the soul of Gaza and destroying all the life of the people in Gaza will not be an easy discussion with the Israeli delegation, and I'm sure Egypt's mediation at this very important moment will bring the two parties to understand the importance of the moment and the way forward, and how both can draw the beginning of a roadmap leading to not only the exchange of prisoners and remains, but also to assert the steps that need to be taken for assuring withdrawal of the Israeli troops on a gradual basis from Gaza Strip, and then immediately start introducing the humanitarian relief to Gaza with the quantities required to face the catastrophic situation. So Egypt's role tomorrow will be crucial, as the mistrust between the two parties are enormous and require a lot of wisdom and tact. I think the Egyptian role, as well as the associated members of the mediation, Qatar and the United States, will play further roles in bringing in more understanding between the parties. The most crucial and important point is to avert any Israeli trial or the right-wing trial to force elements in Trump's roadmap into action before the time, like calling for the disarmament of Hamas that early will not help. So let us concentrate on the first phase, which is the exchange, then the withdrawal, then the entrance of also humanitarian assistance, and then we can move further into the establishment of a Palestinian technocratic authority, which will be linked politically and legally to the Palestinian Authority in Ramallah.
Your Excellency, this very particular meeting, what is Egypt aiming for by, or the outcome that Egypt is aiming for by convening this this meeting and for this particular round of negotiations?
Yes. You may agree that to exchange prisoners and even to hand over remains, you need a field arrangement that will allow the parties to move freely and to allow the exchange to happen in atmosphere of calm and peace. You cannot, under bombardment, do any kind of exchange. And this was the kind of exchange that happened before between the two parties, that a particular zone being identified by Hamas to be liberated from any kind of military interventions or attacks, to allow the free movement of Hamas elements to bring in whatever is required, being prisoners or remains, and that will require certain field arrangements. I think this is very important. And I think also the roadmap, as we may all have agreed, is a framework agreement. A framework agreement needs an executive document that will translate the document. If it is exchange of prisoners, for example, this item has to be materialized in action. So the executive summary of the roadmap or the plan of President Trump requires the Egyptian role. Definitely, as I said, Qatar and the United States, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and others rule may come later, but tomorrow is a time to put the most crucial issue, which is the exchange of prisoners, into action safely without any contradiction between the positions, understanding also that the right-wing government in Israel is trying as much as it can to show the roadmap given by President Trump, suggested by President Trump, as complete triumph over Hamas, a complete victory and defeat of the opponent. At this very sensitive time, it's good to tell the Israelis to dwell into the details and to stop announcing things that provoke the other party. We need calm, we need wisdom, we need the Egyptian credible role to act in peace and tranquility.
Now, in what ways is Egypt aligning the detainee exchange dialogue with the overarching parameters of U.S. President Donald Trump's roadmap for resolving the Gaza conflict?
I mean, we're talking about a Gaza situation within the context of a Palestinian cause solving and settling. It means that we are immediately dealing with the unbearable situation in Gaza. Exchange of prisoners, ceasefire, humanitarian assistance, the establishment of the technocratic Palestinian Authority, then the role of Hamas will be ended. While we are mentioning those elements, the handover of Hamas weapons will be definitely discussed, but the Hamas era will be ended in the moment when a newly established technocratic authority is in place, and this authority should be linked to the Palestinian Authority legally and politically in Ramallah. The second phase should be a total Palestinian drive towards reconstruction, and definitely the statehood will come. I want you, Mona, to draw parallels between the document issued in New York a couple of days ago, which is the New York document of the two-state solution, and President Trump's map. On the point number 11 in the New York agreement, after the ceasefire, then the dialogue will stop. The establishment of the new authority, the establishment of the Palestinian Authority in place, and then talking about the future of Gaza. Here, the Palestinian cause in general will be discussed. And for that reason, you may notice that Cairo will host also the members of the Palestinian branches and parties in common dialogue in Cairo. And this common dialogue will lead to an agreement on the second phase, which you are asking about. The second phase in the New York statement of the two-state solution is in a way similar to what is coming after the first phase in President Trump. We should link the two because the role of the UN in establishing the rights of the Palestinian people and statehood is so important. The arrangement called for by President Trump's roadmap has to be aligned with the roadmap given by the two-state solution document in New York, because the first one, important, is based on a UN legitimacy. And this is very important. Say, for example, in President Trump's roadmap, when he refers to the presence of foreign troops or forces, even coming from Arab and foreign countries, you need to put those forces nearby the Egyptian borders under the flag of the UN. And you need to couple all the elements of the future of the Palestinian cause after you settle the situation in Gaza under a UN Security Council resolution, so that we have a referee, we have someone, we have an authority that can tell us where to go in case of division or dispute over a point or other. So legitimacy of the first document of New York of the two-state solution has to be linked and drew over the one of President Trump. You cannot accept authorities over the Palestinian Technocratic team without having a mandate based on a UN Security Council resolution. Otherwise, this is a new kind of legitimizing international or interference or illegal present or colonial authorities.
Right. To what degree does Egypt's collaborative engagement with regional and global actors enhance the viability of implementing the proposed ceasefire framework?
I think this is a very important question. Let me first of all refer to the positive reaction of Hamas. And most importantly, the immediate acceptance of President Trump that put the Israelis and Netanyahu in a disarray, in a field that I have to cope with the situation. Otherwise, Netanyahu was prepared to say the approval of Hamas is conditional and it is not right, and he would have continued in his carnage in Gaza and killing the people in the way we have witnessed. So I think recalling the right wing by President Trump, who is now leading the situation, will force the Israelis to listen more and to act positively and to understand that we have a historical opportunity if we...
Right. From Cairo, that was the former Assistant Foreign Minister, Ambassador Dr. Mohamed Higazy. Thank you so much for joining us here on Q News.